Thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation about Procept Associates e-learning offerings. Procept Associates was founded in London, Ontario in 1983, and our U.S. operations started in 1965. This makes us one of the oldest management training companies in North America with continuous operations. We have offices from coast to coast across Canada, from Charlottetown right through Toronto, Regina, and out to Richmond, BC. We have offices in 2 locations in the U.S., and we have offices in Switzerland and in the Middle East. We also have franchises in East and West Africa, so we have pretty much a global operation. We're quite busy globally as a training and consulting company. Now, and in training, our specialties are project management. We are the oldest PMI registered education provider in Canada and the 6th oldest globally. We have global chartered status with them. We're also an accredited training organization for Prince 2, as well as a couple other project management processes. Our business analysis practice is quite busy. We are a founding charter member of the endorsed education providers for the IIBA. We've been offering lean and agile management training and consulting since the mid-1990s. Making us one of the older providers in that area before they even called it Agile. And we offer several Agile certification exams and exam prep courses. We're an accredited training organization for ITIL. We also offer IT service management courses around cybersecurity, which I'll be talking about a little bit later. And we also offer business continuity management certification and courses. We have courses on innovation management focused on research and development and creative projects and how to manage the challenges around estimating and planning in those kinds of environments. And we have general management training. Our general management courses are focused at 3 levels. We have courses for the first-time frontline supervisor on how to do performance reviews, how to manage difficult employees, etc. We have courses for middle managers on how to perform in that very challenging role. And then we have courses for executives and leaders on leadership and strategy. And our U.S. operation has a very busy train the trainer practice. Since 1965, they've been offering courses on instructional design, effective classroom instruction, doing training needs analyses, etc. Very, very busy in that line of business over the years, and they have several certifications that are offered as well, and we represent them. They're our subsidiary. We represent them in Canada as well. Procept does e-learning in 2 different ways. We have instructor-led online learning, or what's called synchronous learning, where a teacher is running the course and presenting to multiple students. And we also have self-paced online learning, or asynchronous learning, where a student interacts with some courseware. This could be a website, or it could be a CD-ROM or some kind of software. And we've done both kinds of learning over the years. First, we'll talk about the instructor-led or synchronous learning. Procept's been in this area for quite a long time, over 10 years experience doing this directly with web-based tools such as Blackboard, Desire to Learn, WebEx, Adobe Connect, WebCT, GoToMeeting, those kinds of tools. And we do this for a lot of our major clients, IBM, IMS Health, the Project Management Institute and its various subgroups within it and chapters, the Mayo Clinic. We also do this with our university partners. We do this work with Dalhousie University, University of Toronto, and others. We have done instructor-led online learning in many different areas, project management, business analysis, lean, and general management. Just to give you a flavor, in project management, we currently offer our Project Management Essentials course, Introduction to Project Management, Introduction to Risk Management, Project Management Essentials for Construction, and a number of other courses. We have just over 100 courses in our project management catalog, and many of those are available in an instructor-led online delivery mode. In business analysis, we have done instructor led online training of our Business Analysis Essentials course, Analytical Thinking for the BA, Testing for the BA, and others. In Agile, we have many, including our Agile Bootcamp, Choosing the Right Approach, Agile Executive Overview. And in our general management courses, we have or can deliver online for you Communications in Action, Managing Virtual Teams, The Job of the Frontline Supervisor, and other similar courses. So we've got quite a rich experience in instructor-led online. But the main point of this presentation is to focus on our self-paced online or self-directed online. These are where an individual takes training at their own pace, working with some kind of software solution or a DVD or CD-ROM. Our history of self-paced online learning stems from a rich background in preparing computer-based training since the early 1990s using technologies such as CD-ROMs, Laserdiscs, digital video on DVDs, and custom-developed software. Some of our e-learning developers have won international awards for their work in this area. Several have PhDs in adult learning specifically focused on computer-based training. We've got over 12 years of doing this kind of direct online learning. Various styles of learning modules we can prepare for you, including interactive SCORM modules. SCORM modules are a portable e-learning format where the courseware can be transported between learning management systems. So it's build it once and then you can install it anywhere and carry on from there. It works fairly well. We've been doing it for a long time. These tend to be very highly interactive, clicky experiences. Lots of things to click and sort, and diagrams you can explore, and clicking on various parts of a process diagram, and little word bubbles will pop up explaining that particular part of the diagram. There may be a lot of built-in quizzes and tests and things that'll keep you interacting with the software so that you don't get bored while you're learning. So we have quite a few that are based on SCORM modules. We also have done some online systems simulations where you simulate logging into a system and working with it so that we can show how the user experience might be. So it's not just telling you how to do it, we may actually give you a chance to try it out, not on the real system, but in a simulation of the real system. So we've done that before as well. We can do video-based training, and in fact, a lot of our learning modules are video-based. Now, video-based comes in two flavors. At the top of the screen, you'll see there's one that's a video recording of an instructor at the front of a classroom. That's one style of video-based training, where we have multiple camera angles, and some are close-ups and some are zoomed out. And when the instructor's talking, we will, and they're referring to slides, we'll zoom in on the slide, not on camera, but we'll actually have the graphic pop up on the screen so that you can see what they're talking about and not have to try and parse out what the camera picked up. It will actually show the slide directly. So we've done a lot of these kinds of video recorded learnings. These have a very good student response. People seem to like them, that they see a face, they're not just hearing a voice. And the different camera angles changing back and forth keeps it interesting, so it doesn't get boring from the same angle all the time. There's a second kind of video-based learning that we do, and that's shown in the bottom example on the screen, and that's where we're essentially recording, it's like recording a webinar, where you can see the slides and you hear the narrator's voice, but you're not necessarily seeing video of them speaking. You don't see their face. So that's another type that we do, and we have quite a bit of both styles, and both work differently for different types of content. It depends on what we're teaching as to which style we will use. And we have assignment-based e-learning. The assignment-based e-learning ones are a little bit different. Maybe you would watch a short video on something. You'd watch some little recorded webinar for 5 or 10 or 15 minutes, and then you would get an activity assigned to you. And the learning software, the courseware, would say, okay, stop now. Now go do this activity, trying out some of these skills, fill in a form, answer some questions, whatever. And when you come back, carry on with the training, and we'll actually tell you what the correct answer should look like, and we'll talk about what some common mistakes are, some common errors, and you can then assess your own work to see how it compares. And then we would present some other topic and talk about it, and then we'd give you another assignment to go do, and when you finished, you come back, and we would, as a system, tell you what the correct solution should look like. And so this way you can learn by doing. We've done those as well. So we've got really 4 different styles of e-learning modules, and in 2 flavors of the video one as well, that we can choose from. And as I said, we choose the right approach for the solution. Our output, our courseware, is hosted on our learning management system, which is a highly customized version of Moodle. We also have courses that clients host on their learning management system or on their intranet. We're flexible either way. We've even white labeled our LMS in the past for a financial institution. So when their employees log in, they see the bank's logo, and it looks like it's part of the bank's intranet. Only if they look at the URL do they see that they've left the bank's intranet. Otherwise, it looks like it's just part of the system, and we can work with them for single sign-on or whatever other issues need to be resolved. So we've done all different flavors and combinations of this over the years, and we're very flexible on working with our clients. Now, we've got, as I said, topics in many areas: project management, business analysis, lean, general management, but other topics as well. These first group are courses that we've developed ourselves. It's our own content. We've invested in the creation of these e-learning courses. Those are the first group of courses, but we also resell courses of other course developers. We have the rights to represent them in North America. Or globally in some cases, and those could cover courses on many areas of Six Sigma, basic security, IT networking, cybersecurity, sales and marketing, lots of different areas. And I'm going to talk about those in a few minutes, but first I want to talk about a couple of the courses that Procept has developed, Procept original courses. So here's a sample of one that we created several years ago when things were hot in the oil and gas industry, and lots of project managers from the IT industry were looking at moving over into that area because there was lots of strong job growth and people were getting paid very high salaries. And they wanted to know how different was the oil and gas industry from IT project management. So we created this 2-hour course. It's a SCORM module, so it's a highly interactive little clicky experience. If you can see from the sample screenshot we have here, here's an example of an interactive Jeopardy style game where people have to answer questions to see if they were paying attention to the content. We've got lots of things in there where you sort and click, lots of animations. This one even has a video built into it as well. So a very rich learning experience. So that's an example of one of our e-learning courses. It's only 2 hours long, but it gives you a really good feel. Now, if you're interested, we've given you a description here on the screen, but there's a link at the bottom of the page. If you go to that link or go to that URL, you'll actually be able to find out more. Look at a course outline, maybe some sample reviews. In some of these courses, we even have a sample video of someone going through part of the course, so you can get a feel for what the content looks like as well. Now, we have other ones. There's a group of courses we have around the construction industry. And this is where one of our unique propositions. Not all training providers can deal with construction project management and IT project management. So we have some e-learning courses around the construction project management side. Here's one. It's 1.5 hours long. This one isn't a SCORM-based approach. This one is a video-based approach. So it's you're essentially watching a webinar. A recorded webinar, and in this one there's a workbook that you follow along with. So as you go through, you follow along and you fill in the blanks, answer some questions to keep you interested and involved in the content. This one here is about people managing large capital projects where you're typically building or installing something big and expensive. And this one is all about how do you keep the budget in track, forecast budget overruns, track how you're doing, and how to resolve those possible overruns. That's all dealt with in this course. Very interesting course, targeted at engineers, construction project managers, both on the contractor side, the people doing the work, but also on the owner's side, people hiring the contractors to do the work and kind of supervising the contractors. That's also covered in this course, that perspective, so it would be suitable for both. Another course is called Operators as part of the project team. If somebody's building a facility, say they're building a community center, or they're building a new office building, or they're building a sewage treatment plant as a contractor, they need to work with what's called the operator, the person who's going to own and maintain it down the road, the business. This course is aimed at those business people who are going to be owning and operating the solution after it's built, and what their role is during the construction project, how they should get involved, what responsibilities do they have. This one's only 45 minutes long. It's a video-based course, but very helpful to help those people understand their role in the project, representing the sponsor or the client's interests as their representative on the project. The next course is called Contract Management for Field Personnel. This particular course is good for people who are working in the project but representing the client. So you may have, for example, inspectors, subject matter experts, maybe even some of the workers on the project, some engineers, or having some other people working in the project, working for the client but alongside the contractors. What is their role in contract management? They're the ones who can spot variances. They're the ones who can potentially see change requests coming, or spot change or scope creep or defects. They're certainly going to get involved in claims later on in the project. So this one gives a bit of an overview of a little bit of contract law, but you're not going to get a law degree, but a basic overview of some understanding of contract law and obligations, and some specific things that they need to do differently to help manage the project from their perspective as the on-site person during the execution of the project. They have a role in project management. So this is a 12-hour module, or a 12-hour course broken into 16 modules. So each module would have several videos to watch. In some cases they go from 5 minutes to 40 minutes, but there's little pieces. You watch several video clips, and then you would answer a quiz for each module. So there's 16 quizzes throughout this course. The point of it is of all these quizzes is to make sure you're paying attention and you're following along. So we've broken into small clips so you can not get bored watching one long clip before there's a quiz. There are lots of little pieces. You watch a piece, you can take a break. Watch another piece, take a break. When you've done that section, you do that section's quiz, and then you move into the next section. So this is one that might be of interest to some clients. And the last construction one that I'm going to talk to you about today is our Engineer Procure Constructor EPC Project Management course. This is normally a 4.5-day classroom-based course, but we've converted that into 25 hours of video. There's a lot of videos here. Dozens and dozens and dozens. It's broken up, I think, into maybe 35 or 39 modules. So each one has a number of video clips. And each one has a little quiz at the end of each section. This one again is broken down into components, and this is particularly to a certain kind of contract. When you're doing construction projects, there's many different styles of contracts. Design, build, there's fixed price contracts. This one's called EPC, and this one describes the role of the EPC project manager and how they get involved. What their level of control is over vendors, etc., what their responsibilities are. And this particular one leads to a certification. At the end of the course, you'd be qualified, if you wish, to go write the Certified EPC Project Manager exam offered by the Project Management Association of Canada, or PMAC as they're called. This course is accredited by them as meeting the educational requirements. It's designed to pass that exam. So students find that very helpful from the engineering side specifically. The link at the bottom of this screen not only has a link to details about the course, but in this case there's actually a sample video describing the course and showing you some of the slides from the course and explaining what you'll get out of the content as well. Now we're going to leave the construction field and get into something called project finance. This course, Introduction to Project Finance, describes the different structural techniques that can be done to secure funding for a project when you don't have a big fat checkbook that you can write one big check from. It talks about special purpose entities, public-private partnerships, different kinds of tranched financing, convertible bonds. It goes into all the different funding techniques that can be used. It's quite extensive. It's only 2 hours long, but gets quite extensive in what it covers, and includes on top of that a number of white papers, and I think there's an ebook included. It's very interactive. It's a SCORM module. As you can see on the sample screenshot, there's lots of little clicky things that you can do to stay engaged as you're going through the learning. There's case studies included at the end to put the concepts into practice. The ideal audience for this course would be senior project managers, especially ones working, probably moving towards engineering construction projects where these are most commonly used project financing techniques, although there are occasionally IT projects that cross into this realm. You also would want to take this course if you're a manager of such a project, like a functional manager or a departmental manager where you have a project manager going to be working on one of these. Clients on the business side who have a very large project they want to kick off, but they don't have all the funding and they want to figure out different ideas of how they could creatively structure the project to work in partnership with vendors to try and have maybe the vendors partially fund some of the project. So there's different ideas that are covered in this course that would be suitable for more senior people in those types of strategic decision-making roles. The next course now moves into a different area. We have a different category of courses we have called our Lessons from History courses. These courses are really focused on the techniques where one would analyze past projects, historical projects from the distant past, using modern business analysis and project management techniques to extract the lessons learned that can be applied to today's projects and today's scenarios. The strategy here is to use old, ancient, long time past projects because we have now the benefit of hindsight to see exactly what worked and why, and what the long-term outcomes were of the project. But in addition, we can use case studies. We can analyze these projects in detail, pointing out what didn't work without hurting anyone's sensibilities, because anybody who worked on these projects is long gone by now. They've passed on. These are projects from the 1800s, early 1900s, projects even more ancient than that. In this series, we look at medieval projects and even some ancient Egyptian projects. So fascinating series to study. In this particular course, we're looking at how to manage innovation. Innovation we're dealing with today as new technologies are being invented at a rapid pace, new business models are being uncovered. How do people manage projects when everything is changing so quickly? Well, the same problem was experienced during the Industrial Revolution as new technology, steam power, etc. were coming out, and how people were able to deal with those changes that wiped out and changed entire industries. So this particular course is 20 hours long. It's actually a 3-day course compressed into 20 hours of learning. This one includes SCORM modules, but also some videos. So you'll get an interactive, clicky experience as you're going through a learning portion, and then it'll say, now watch this video, and then or 2 videos, and then maybe read a white paper, and then you come back to take the next SCORM module, etc. This particular course has a quiz after each module to make sure you're understanding and following along. They're not graded, they're sending the grades to anywhere. It's just for your own use to see how you did, to help you make sure you understand your progress and whether you've comprehended properly the content or not. So this is another course from that Lessons from History series. The next one is also from that series. This is how to manage large project teams. And in this case, the project that is used to come up with some of those strategies analyzes the case study of the construction of the Giza pyramid. Now, or if you look at the Giza pyramids, we often think that they were built by mass teams of slaves. But the latest archaeological research shows that that's really not true. They were highly paid and in many cases pampered, skilled craftsmen, and the powers that be at the time didn't want them to go back to their villages. They wanted them to stay and get the job done. So they had challenges of motivation. They had to get team bonding happening, how to encourage more self-organizing teams, even competition between different competing teams to improve productivity. Lots of different strategies were dealt with, and the latest archaeological research is starting to reveal some of this through understanding the hieroglyphics. They've uncovered the workers' village at the base of the pyramids where they lived while they were building them, and they're finding all kinds of artifacts and evidence in there that these workers were pampered and highly skilled, and they were taken care of by the managers of that large project. So we actually analyze those details of what happened and how they were managed, and use that information to help manage modern teams. Now, in this particular learning course, which is 18 hours long, and it's consisting again of Scrum modules and a series of videos, and it has little quizzes throughout to make sure you're paying attention. In this one, you actually be the project manager in a series of simulations where they're going to present you with problems that the real project manager faced at certain points during the project and ask you to make a decision based on the available information. And then the course branches out into a series of things that happened as a result of you making that decision. And so every time you take this course, if you make different decisions, you may have a different learning experience. Quite interesting. I've been through it myself, and I found it very enjoyable and fascinating, so you may like it as well. There's a sample video talking about the course and its benefits and what it covers, and showing some sample screenshots from the course at the link at the bottom of the page. Here's another sample of one of our courses. This one is a video recording of an instructor at the front of the room. This is our Introduction to Risk Management. It's 4 hours long. It's a series of videos. There's a workbook that you follow along and answer questions as you go through, and there is a quiz at the end to make sure that you properly comprehended the content. So that's another example of one of our courses. Now we move out of the project management courses, and let's get into some of our agile courses. We have quite a few. This one's called Choosing the Right Approach. It's a 4-hour Scrum module. There's interactivity here. The point of this one is to help you decide when agile makes sense to use on a project versus the other approaches such as waterfall or incremental or iterative. It talks about those different approaches and how to choose the right one for a project. This one's extensively used by some of our corporate clients, and I'm sure you'll find it quite fascinating. Next is a course on an introduction to lean project management. This one's actually broken into a couple lessons, each one 1 hour in length. There's SCORM modules, there's interactivity and clicky things going on. There's a quiz at the end to make sure that you've understood it. And it gives you a good understanding of some of the main topics of lean that are applicable in a project management context. Lean has lots of tools and practices, but not all of them make sense for projects. Many of them are focused on operations. This course extracts the lean practices that make sense within a project management context. So that's an example of some of our e-learning courses. It's not a complete list, but it gives you an example of some of the different e-learning courses that we've developed over the years. There's more in the works. The following ones will be out, we're targeting before March 31st, 2017. We have our 3-day Project Management Essentials classroom course. It has been re-engineered and reconstructed as a video-based course, approximately 20 hours in length. There are some activities in this course as well. That'll be out very soon. It's effectively done now. We're just getting ready to launch it. And then we're going to produce some business analysis courses because we've got a lot of PM courses, but nothing on the BA side. So we're going to do our Introduction to Business Analysis, our testing for the BA, and our analytical thinking for the BA will be produced as video-based courses. Those will be out before the end of March. And we're going to do a general management course on how to run effective meetings. That one's well underway and is nearly done. And we'll probably do a couple more on the general management side as well before that time frame. So we have active development going on constantly. There's always work going on in developing e-learning content. And stay tuned. Just stay in touch. Keep looking at our site to find out what new is being announced. Now, as I said, we also resell content from other providers. There's a number of different providers we represent that produce this content, and we have the marketing rights to represent them in North America, some of them globally, as I mentioned earlier. So here's some courses that are offered from one of our providers on project management. We have a number of different PMI exam prep courses for various PMI exams. We have Prince 2 training to get certified in Prince 2, and then just general modules on executive strategy, quality management, scope and requirements, managing teams, even one on PM skills for non-PMs. We even have one that's applicable not just to project managers but to general management called strategic planning skills that might be applicable to any manager in the business, certainly getting up at the senior levels. At the bottom of the screen is a link where you can get a sample of one of these courses and see what it's like. It's partially disabled. You can only see a few little pieces of the course, but you can get a flavor for the style of the course that it is. It's largely video based, so you're watching recordings of webinars, but they do an excellent job in covering some of these topics. We're a reseller for another provider that offers Scrum certification training, both the training and the certification exam, and we can be very price competitive on these. Contact us if you're interested in Scrum Master certification or Scrum Product Owner certification, etc. In addition to our classroom-based courses that we provide under our accredited training organization status, where we can offer ITIL training, we also have a number of ITIL online modules, online courses as well from another provider. We offer COBIT foundation training. And interestingly, we've got new cybersecurity courses on the new Resilia framework. So we can do foundation and practitioner courses and certifications for that cybersecurity standard. Now, getting out of the technical area, we also have some sort of general business courses that your staff overall may need. Aside from the management, this just gets right into the frontline staff. We have courses on digital security awareness, so people don't open up vulnerabilities into your organization. Courses on how to use Windows 10, Windows 8, Windows 7. We have stuff on how to use Vista. If anybody's still on those older platforms, we have courses covering them as well. We have courses on basic and advanced uses of SharePoint, internet and computer core skills to get your new employees up to speed on technology. We have courses that are intros to accounting, a little bit about business accounting and how it works. We have a course on business bookkeeping and payroll. We have a number of courses on the uses of social media for business, so how to use the social media as a marketing strategy. We have courses on HR, so how to manage other people, so an intro course and one on HR administration. We have courses on legal, basic law, so people can understand some basic legal concepts, and a course on legal office administration. So that may be of use to some clients in certain industries. And broadly applicable everywhere is our courses on professionalism in the workplace. So we have professionalism in the office, business etiquette, how to do time management, customer service skills, communicating, all these courses in this area. So we have a number of e-learning offerings there and more coming from us directly, but these are ones through the reseller network. And I guess lastly, we have office productivity training, people that want to learn the new versions of Microsoft Office, or they need training on some of the older versions if that's what you're still using. We have a suite of courses that we can resell covering all the different versions of Office that you see on the screen right now. If you are interested in finding out more about our self-paced online training, send an email to sales@procept.com and let us know which course you're interested in or which topic, and maybe we can arrange a sample demonstration, a facilitated walkthrough, or for certain clients we can get you a demo ID where you can get access to the course, maybe a partially disabled version, or for some clients we might get you a full version of the course to explore. For many people this will be free, no charge. And for larger clients, some of these courses definitely we can make available free to you, but we want to ask a few questions first to make sure you qualify for free access. So remember, sales@procept.com. If you want to find out more about these courses, you can always go to training.procept.com, then click on courses and explore the area you're interested in. Thank you very much for your time. I hope this was helpful. And don't forget to give us a call if you have any needs. Thank you.